stupid post. Are they really going to try to throw him in jail over it?
No, I don't think he's going to jail. But let me ask you, if Tony Soprano said so-and-so is going to get whacked, does that mean that they're out of whack? Does it mean that they're going to get weed whacked? No, it means that they're going to get killed, right? In this context,
well, James Comey didn't say Donald Trump is going to get 86.
No, he posted 86.
He said
he posted 8647, right? 86 in this sense is a verb. 8647, right? This is something that the New York Times, the BBC, all acknowledge that could mean, in context, to kill someone. So, yeah, I after 2 assassination attempts, the congressional shooting, the left lighting Teslas on fires, you have leftists barring Jews from entering campuses. Yeah, I think this is okay to investigate. I think it's fine to investigate. I don't think anything will happen from it because maybe there's no evidence. Maybe you could take him at his word. But this is definitely something that has been used as a threat against President Trump and should be investigated.
Well, just ask Jack Posobiec, who wrote back in 2022, 8646. He also said that Comey should be arrested for this. Matt Gaetz says back in 2024, we've now 86th McCarthy, McDaniel, McConnell.
Well, I think he should
throw him in jail.
He should be questioned. He should undoubtedly be questioned. You know, every time Donald Trump uses the word fight, people lose their minds. And here you have a post, and we're supposed to believe he was just sharing the numbers of the day on Sesame Street. There's a meaning behind it, and he knows that there's at least a political meaning. He admitted that. I know he admitted that. But he also is smart enough to know that before he shares that, he should probably fully vet it to understand the full meaning behind it. I will say, though, I do want to say, I didn't know what it meant until a couple of weeks ago. I was leaving a restaurant. The person parked next to me had a sign next to their little baby on board decal. They had a sign that said 8647. And I was like, what in the world is this their phone number? Are they like, and I had to look it up.
The baby on board.
There's T-shirts that say that. So I you know, it was a stupid post. It was a stupid post. I also think that he should have known what it was going to cause. Maybe he was bored and maybe he misses the limelight. Who knows? But here's my thing. The whole, like, you know, Republican hair on fire and Donald Trump, he, you know, needs to be investigated, should go to jail. Do we remember when Donald Trump said that Hillary Clinton is probably going to be taken care of by the Second Amendment people? I mean, what is that, right? And that seemed to be clearly an indication that maybe someone should come and take care of her with their Second Amendment right.
And not only that, he posted just last year that video of a truck that had Biden, an image of Biden tied up in the back of it. I mean, January 6th, I guess a lot of people memory hole January 6th, but I mean, he did, incite and egg on violence, and then he pardoned these people. So I think pardoning violent, what some call insurrectionists that attacked police officers sends more of a signal than 8647. I used to be a waiter when I used to work at IHOP. When we said 86, that pancake, it didn't mean assassinate the pancake.
Right.
But that's my focus is really the hypocrisy and where was this condemnation?
The big thing is that, first off, this is an incredibly humorous segment. I gotta chase numbers now. I gotta know 1981, by the way, my birthday. Like, we gotta this is ridiculous, first off. Second, James Comey knows better. That's at the end of the day, hand it to your daughter and be like, hey, should I put 8647? When you guys just said, and I just learned right now that there's merchandise being sold off of that.
There is.
That has a deeper meaning. Is James Comey going to organize a group of people to kill Donald Trump? No.
There's crazy people out there.
I get that, but I get it from this.
I'm wondering, reasonably, do we think that there are many crazy people out there, frankly, and you're totally right about that. Are they taking their orders from James Comey, who's been a private citizen?
The congressional shooter, the shooter in Florida, were motivated by leftist propaganda. I think that's a real thing. And by the way, does anyone think he didn't actually do this? Does anyone think he didn't do this himself? There's just shells in 8647 on the beach right in front of James Comey's house. Does anyone not think he did this himself?
I can't picture James Comey bending down and
I couldn't picture him posting a picture of it, but someone did.
I just want to touch on your point. You're talking about the leftist propaganda, right? It's just rich to see so much right-wing outrage over this when we've been calling out Trump echoing and Tucker Carlson verbatim rhetoric that was literally in white supremacist manifestos, right? When we all of that, we see all of this stuff.
Hold on. Okay, there's a survey from the Network, I want to make sure I say it correctly, Network Contagion Research Institute, a survey they conducted in conjunction with Rutgers. It's on your lapel pin. And that survey showed that 55% of respondents that self-identify as left of center believe it is justified to mortally wound this president.
What was the reading on right of center people?
It was much, much lower.
Okay, well, what was it?
I don't know. I'll Google it
well,
after the
all right.
segment.
All right.
But the
Let
point
me-
is
Yeah,
more than
I
the
guess-
majority of left
yeah,
of center.
I mean, I think that
There
we
hasn't
have
been assassination
Hold on a
either.
second.
There's been two.
Guys, we have a problem in this country of
Agreed.
political violence. There's no question about that. But I also think that we also have a lot of people some of whom are currently in power right now, like the FBI director, the guy who's actually in charge of the FBI right now, who have posted violent things on social media. Just watch this. He was asked about it in his confirmation hearing.
Mr. Patel proclaimed, "The manhunt starts tomorrow," and reposted a video depicting him taking a chainsaw to his political enemies. Is that you, Kash Patel, reposting that at the top of that page?
Senator, I had nothing to do with the creation of that.
Okay,
And
I'll
he
take
was rightfully questioned.
I'll take his word for it that he didn't create the post, but he certainly reposted it.
He reposted it.
And I don't know. I mean, should he have gotten a call from the FBI and the Secret Service?
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is, you're right, Abby, we have a problem in this country, but it's also a fact that Donald Trump and all of his followers that are in power, not just the public, Donald Trump and some of the people in his cabinet, as you just showed, are people who do this, who talk about political violence, who have started this whole thing about political violence being okay in this country. And so
If you don't think the left does that, you live under a
Okay.
rock.
Without saying the word, without saying the word January 6th,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Saying
I'll let
the
you in
left,
just a
but-
second,
but
Joe. Let me just let her finish, and then you can get in.
Connect people who have been in office with that. Connect people who have run for office on the left.
Joe,
in that.
Joe,
You can.
finish your
I
thought.
was going to say, without saying the words January 6th, point stipulated, tell me one time that there was rhetoric leading to a violent incident where a Democratic politician was physically nearly assassinated, without mentioning January 6th.
Without mentioning January
We have
6th.
other, like
Wow.
Charlie's January 6th. We have
kind of a
we
big
have
one.
other
I'm just saying.
you're saying
Why
politician.
can't we mention January 6th?
But both are bad, Joe.
Which was
why are you excusing?
I'm
Why are
not.
you
Investigations
excusing
happened.
January 6th?
I also
Arrests
think,
were made.
let me just
Nothing like that
let me
happened.
just ask
Paul
this.
Pelosi.
Hold on. Let me just ask
Paul
this.
Pelosi.
Well, yeah, there is Paul
and,
Pelosi.
and Trump mocked Paul Pelosi being attacked after the violence. So it's like, my thing is just enough of the double standard. Like, if you're going to condemn this, condemn Trump.
Right.
When he's
I also
doing
think
this
that
thing.
there's a question here about what is a threat of violence, what is a very stupid post, and you have the entire apparently Trump administration law enforcement apparatus going after this one guy who's been writing mystery novels for the last 6 years. It just raises some questions about where the priorities really are. And I'm not sure that it's answered by saying, well, there's political violence. I don't know that this qualifies. There is actually political violence that should actually be investigated. And I would hope that Kash Patel is on it.
Yeah, and I don't find it outrageous that he's being questioned. Donald Trump has been questioned. Kash Patel has been questioned. Others have been questioned. And a lot of folks just want to dismiss this off the bat and say, well, he shouldn't even have to answer questions. He didn't mean that. It was a mistake. No, he should have to answer questions. And good on him for going in voluntarily to answer the questions. It may have just been an innocent mistake, but he should have to answer to it.
But I guarantee you that Donald Trump's life is not in danger from James Comey.
But it could be from someone who saw the post.
Look, his life literally was in danger last year, so it is a problem. The real question is whether this post is really
Exactly.
significant of anything.